Oh, that's so quick! Holy shit! Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back at Evan's house and we're going to be working on the Civic today. And he's been pretty busy over the last couple weeks, just doing a lot of smaller cleanups and mods just to make this thing look a little bit cleaner and just perform that little bit better. So, Spods, what have you been busy doing on this car?
So I'm not sure what we did in the last video, can't remember, but I cleaned up all the sticker residues. And then I completely ripped out the old interior because I had like this really weird sound deadening underneath it, and it was just all water and it stank. So it was beginning to rust out some parts of the floor. Not badly, just surface rust, but it just stank. So yeah, I ripped it all out, vacuumed the whole interior so it was a bare shell on the inside, and then chucked it all back in. What else have I done?
Yeah, there was some pretty ricey like pedals and stuff and shift knobs and handbrake boots that should have all been gone. I'll chuck up a clip of what the interior looked like before, because I don't think I included that in the last video.
I also put on the 6 US.
Yeah, these new wheels are sick. What are the specs?
So they're 15x8 plus 36.
Nice.
And they put a 205/50 Federal RSR.
Nice. Yeah, they're thick boys.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
So, oh yeah, we've also put on.
Oh yeah, put on a new hood.
Put on a de-riced hood because the last one had vents cut out the front of it and it just looked absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So new vent makes it look a little bit more grandpa spec, and I think the most important mod that you've done, it has to be the tissue box on the parcel shelf. Sure. That's the most important mod. Most important mod.
Double-sided tape and stick it down so it doesn't go flying everywhere. But
yeah,
it's
without
actually surprisingly comfortable, like the inside, back seats as well. Really.
Yeah, it's really clean and you really took your time and effort to clean this up. Sweet. So what will we be doing today?
So we'll be doing the rear coilovers and possibly the front brakes as well. I can't do the front coilovers yet because the fork still hasn't arrived for them, so that sucks. But yeah, so rear coilovers, front brakes, and that's basically it.
Sweet. Yeah, so the reason why we can't do the front coilovers is because the coilers that we have are off of an EK Civic?
No, they're off a DC2.
Off of a DC2 Integra, and they need
the diameter on the bottom of the coilover is slightly smaller on an ED than it is on a DC2. So basically you just need a bigger diameter fork. So the guy that I ordered the coilovers from forgot to send them to me, so he just sent them out last week. But Ozpost sucks. So
yeah, as we know with my pulley remover tool, Ozpost is absolutely shit and they never deliver anything on time.
So yeah, the only thing left to do really after that is front rear coilovers, front brakes, rear disc conversion, and then once all that's done, which is basically intercooler, and then
intercooler and bumper.
Yeah, intercooler front bar. And
sweet. Yeah. And then we can hit the togue. So these are the coilovers we'll be installing. They're HSDs. I know fuck all about them. So pretty much to remove the rear shocks, it's pretty simple. So we got to remove the lower control arm with 3 bolts here, and then remove the top of the shock up here, and then drop it all out as one. So it should be pretty simple. Alright, so pretty much the issue that we've come across now is we're trying to install the driver's side rear coilover, and it's not quite fitting into the lower control arm. The passenger side fit just fine, but the bottom of the coilover needs to sit and slot into the lower control arm, but it's just getting caught and it's not sliding in as smoothly as it should. So we're just gonna file or grind down the inside of the control arm, and hopefully this should fit in quite easily.
2 hours later.
So we've ground down the bottom of the control arm and the coilover is in, so now we can whack it in the car. Hopefully we don't encounter any other issues. So the rear coilovers are in, and it's not actually that much lower than what it was before. So we're going to drop the threads down to 15 threads? Was it 15 threads? So we're going to drop the coils down to 15 threads just because they're currently on like 28 and 25. So hopefully that will bring everything down to a good height and not be too low, but definitely decrease that ugly wheel gap because it's just massive. Alright, so the rear coilovers are in and the rear end of this car is just looking so much better. The wheel gap is, there's still a decent wheel gap, so it's not overly obnoxious, but it doesn't look like a lifted four-wheel drive anymore. So there's about a 1 finger gap now. So it's exactly how Evan wants it. We're still waiting on the parts to do the front, so we still have the front suspension in the car, but it's actually looking really good.
3 weeks later.
Hey, what's up guys? It's a new day. We're back at Evan's house working on the Civic, and we finally have all the components to install the front coilovers. So we're going to continue doing that today. Alright, so this is the issue we were facing before. This is the new fork, this is the old ones. You can clearly see that the diameter of the new fork is way bigger than the old ones. So this one will fit over our new coilovers. Alright, so that was way easier than our first attempt. The coilovers are in less than half an hour. So now we just got to whack the wheels on, check the height, and then adjust the preload and the ride height as needed. But yeah, that was probably one of the easiest coilover installs we've ever done. It really helps when you have all the correct parts. Dude, what a boat.
Fuck, that's higher than the stock ones. Jesus Christ. Alright, there.
It's massive. Look at that wheel gap. Look at that poke. So the current wheel gap is absolutely astronomical. So we're definitely going to jack the car up and fix it up. Alright, so front coilovers are in and this thing is looking so good now. The fitment on these wheels are absolutely amazing. It's looking so good. Oh my god, man, the fronts, the stance on this thing is just so good. You can hardly fit a finger under here. So we're probably going to end up scrubbing, but good thing these coilovers do have adjustable dampening. So we have stiffened the fronts up as stiff as they can go. And the rears, we shouldn't really have any issues with scrubbing on the rears, especially considering the guards are rolled. The front guards are rolled, but they're just not as rolled as good as they could be. So that might cause some problems. But we're going to take it for a drive, everything's all tightened up, and we're going to see how this thing feels and handles. But oh my god, the front, it looks so good. It looks so good. Oh yeah, oh yeah. heaps of scrubbing. Rip fender liner.
Yeah, rip. Suss that and get it up.
The passenger side is definitely a little bit lower than the driver's side, and it is scrubbing a little bit. So we'll probably address that when we do the front brakes, because it's a problem for another day. But it definitely looks good. We've got to be happy with how it sits. It looks so meaty. So pretty happy with everything so far.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Just need to fix the scrubbing and do the brakes.
Sweet, and then take it for a hills run.
That's right.
Take it on the toge. Nice.